I'm back now with Sierra Barter. She's here. Hi, come on over.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Molly.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So you're with the Providence Lady Project. Congratulations, 5 years.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been crazy.
Just celebrated the 5th birthday.
Yes, they grow up so fast, right? So,
So let's talk a little bit about this. This has kind of been your mission. This has kind of been your baby for the past 5 years. So what has it been like to see this grow, change, and we'll get to it in a minute, but expand?
yeah, absolutely. So it's been great, and and especially like having your own business or an organization, you have to listen to your members and to see and grow and evolve. And we've certainly changed even just from an operational standpoint, but as well as expanding to new chapters outside of Providence, but still keeping our quarters right here in Providence because it's so important, and we love our city.
So with this now, your 5th year, you have developed some really neat concepts. So let's start off with the let's talk.
So we launched Lady Project Works, which is right over by Rhode Island Hospital. It's a collaborative workspace. We have a few tenants in there, including Dawn Oyer, who's a nonprofit attorney, as well as Erica Campanella, who's Providence-based. We're hoping that we're going to be hosting workshops from our members to share their skills and their expertise, as well as an event space to host book clubs, mom meetups, and also to open the doors to members of our community to utilize the space as well for their events, their meetings, and everything in between.
So how did this idea come about? Were you just like, we need to have a space for us, we need a space for the community? How did this really come about?
Absolutely. So one thing is that we have a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
I was really also
What do I do with this?
Yeah, like my basement was getting full of all of our boxes. So we needed an office for us to work as an organization and to work out of. Additionally, Lady Project is all about collaboration and connection. And we thought, okay, if we're going to have an office, we should bring in other women to work with and to give them the opportunity to take their business to the next level. Erica, who's one of our tenants, she is an illustrator, and she was working out of her house, and she's like, for her to have a studio, like that's a big step.
Yeah.
And being able also to separate that life and work balance, and to have a place where it's like, this is where I work and this is where I sleep.
Yeah. And also, I think to be able to get away and say, okay, this is where I'm making my phone calls, this is where I'm doing my work, it's not laundry time, but to open up your own studio is really expensive.
Absolutely. And we were very fortunate to work with a developer that was able to give us, as a nonprofit, we don't have a whole lot of money to spend on rent, so we were able to work with them to make sure that we are able to afford our space, but also offer, a rate to our tenants as, this is something that you can afford to grow your business.
So let's talk about that nonprofit aspect, and kind of just a little bit about what you do, because maybe some people aren't really familiar with Providence Lady Project.
Yeah, so our mission is to connect, inspire, and showcase awesome women doing amazing things through events, membership, and community engagement. And we have over 1,500 members nationwide, about 500 to 600 right here in Rhode Island, and it's an opportunity for like-minded women to connect over a drink at one of our events or one of our active events, like a yoga class or a spin class, online in our membership portal, as well as other events and connections throughout the year. So we invite women to come as they are, anyone who identifies as female, to come and join us at an event. We have monthly member meetups, as well as be part of our robust online community through a Facebook group or through our member portal to connect and get inspired.
And you mentioned online meetups as well as different events and activities, and you guys always are hosting a ton of stuff. And I like the idea of the online thing and really connecting, and I noticed you guys have a book club, and so I was looking at through like different activities for that, and that's something so simple as you can do it at home, but you can also just connect with people either in person or online.
Absolutely, because everyone has different schedules, whether maybe, and especially like if you're a new mom, you might not be able to, get out as much as you'd like to, or maybe if you have a job that has a different type of schedule. So we want to offer different events at different times of the day to accommodate as many schedules as possible, and by having that online access, it allows people to log in from home in their pajamas with a glass of wine, or connect with somebody at an in-person meeting for a different type of conversation.
Exactly. Let's talk about you guys are expanding rapidly. So you just expanded to Albany, correct? So, and what was that like?
Albany was really great because it was 2 women, Leah and Teresa, who connected with us online, and they're like, we love this, we want to bring this to Albany, and we're like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
we have a process, and there's, there's more, we make sure that everything's all set. But I went up to the with a few of our team members back in February, and it sold out.
Wow.
And what was really interesting about it too is that it was a very different crowd than we see in some of our other chapters. This was definitely more, we had a lot more moms, a lot more people who are more seasoned in their careers, and it was just really showed that Lady Project isn't just for someone who's recently graduating or someone who is, in her first job or two. It's for women of all ages and all career levels, and because women need support at every stage of her career, whether she's just starting out or maybe she's transitioning into a new role or she's completely changing industries, that support is needed, and it's essential.
Do you think now more than ever that that this type of organization is necessary, or people are showing more interest in it?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, I think that the world that we have right now is very different than the world that we were in 6 months ago. And I think that because of recent current events, we have seen that, it's not equal. We're not there yet when it comes to, there's blatant misogyny all over the place. And even though it's 2017, we still have a lot of work to do. And I actually received a few notes after the election saying, this is why this is so important. Like, I need to connect with other like-minded women who want to make a positive change in their community, who want to help others, who want to be inclusive. And those are all really important things that as an organization we support, and we want to make sure that our members have the resources to do so.
And you do provide resources and events and now a space to do that.
Yeah. And we're hoping to also build a resource library where we have, we have so many members from all different areas, and they're all experts in their field, and if they're able to share maybe a web video or a Facebook Live session or a PDF based on whatever topic she is passionate about with our members, because we want to be able to learn and to grow from one another.
And do you really have to be a member to be able to take advantage of all these different ideas and workspace and activities?
So there are members certainly get perks, and you can join right on our website, ladyproject.org. We do have member meetups that are once a month at New Harvest in the Arcade here in Providence, and non-members can go with another member just to kind of check us out and see how it is.
Like, is this for me? Do I want to be, because sometimes that can be really intimidating walking into a new space with a bunch of women. You're like, I don't need friends, or I don't want to be pulled into a group or clique or whatever.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure that people do feel invited and welcomed and included. Also, by just getting involved on social media, you'll be able to, read about, Viola Davis's big win last night and feel inspired, or check out, we have a book club coming up tonight for Hidden Figures, and being able to participate in that way before they join. But members definitely get, access to the space at a cheaper rate and different perks throughout the year.
Yeah. And you have a summit coming up, which I was looking at. Actually, before we get to that, let's talk more about your expansion, because you're not done yet.
No, we're actually expanding to Indianapolis and Atlanta this spring. Atlanta actually is the highest per capita of women-owned businesses in the country, so we're really excited to expand there and give the women down there the support they need. And Atlanta was actually being started by someone who was a Providence member here, and she moved down to Atlanta just for a new beginning, and she was like, hey, I really want to bring this to my city, and how do we do that? So really exciting too, to see that people love their experience in Providence and want to bring that to a new city. So that's really exciting to see too. And then we also have a few more chapters on the radar for this fall. We try to expand in the spring and in the fall, just because summer's a really tough time for folks. So yeah, we're just getting started.
What does expansion entail? Like, do you have to have a certain amount of membership, a certain amount of interest, a certain amount of fundraising? I mean, what does that entail to be successful, to not fold?
Absolutely. So the biggest thing is finding someone who's passionate in that community to lead it, because it's not it's not an easy task. It's a time. It's you have to put a lot of your own personal resources into it. So finding that person, that city manager in each city, is key, and then having her build her team. So finding someone to help with graphic design or social media or marketing in her team, and really build that team together. But it's about a 6-month process from that I want to do this moment to the actual launch. But
no faltering. We want
to make sure that the people who are coming on board are in it, and they're in it for at least a year or two. We want to make sure that the chapter is sustainable, because like you said, we want to set everyone up for success. But they are encouraged to do monthly events, and then we also do some sort of reporting on our end. We do quarterly hangouts with them, with our city managers, and give them resources. Like the other night, we actually did social media training with our director of communications, just to be like, hey, this is what we encourage you guys to do, and take it from there.
I mean, that helps you grow in all levels. I mean,
Exactly.
to take that from an organization to your business life to another organization, I mean, that helps you grow in all realms.
Absolutely. And we feel too, like Lady Project, it helps me in my day job at Johnson & Wales. It helps me in, other organizations I'm involved with. And it's all, it's all part of the greater good, and to build your own, business sense and personal sense, and also, helping out your general community.
Oh, definitely. Building your community. And just being a part of something that's not just yourself, and meeting people that you wouldn't necessarily meet. I mean, especially I feel in Rhode Island that everybody's such a tight-knit community, and people know each other and have known each other for so long, and moving here and not knowing anyone, to be able to get into an organization where you're meeting people from different facets of life, that can be so beneficial to join an organization.
Absolutely. We have so many women, not only here in our Providence chapter, but our other chapters nationwide, that are the same kind of thing. They're new to the community. Maybe they moved here for a job or for school or whatever, and they're like, hey, I need friends, I need a network, and joining their Lady Project chapter is a great way to do that. Also, when you join Lady Project, you're actually a member of all of our chapters. So say,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so say you're a Providence member and you move to San Diego for whatever reason, you can just change your chapter over, like your home chapter, and be part of that organization.
That's cool.
Yeah, so because we've even heard from people who have moved, in or out of Providence, saying the fact that we have a chapter in their new city is such a calming moment, and provides that okay, I have my people in DC or New York or Boston or wherever they're moving, and it's a little bit less scary then if you know that there's a group of people essentially waiting for you, and that you can join to talk about.
Oh, that's nice. That gives me a little bit of a goosebump.
Oh,
it is.
yeah,
It's hard. It's hard moving. It's hard being new somewhere.
Absolutely.
And even if it's moving 5 seconds away, or just walking into a new job.
Totally.
Being able to have a network, whether it's women or men who support you. Okay. So let's get to the summit, because you do have something pretty big coming up, and I was looking through both on my phone and here I have it on my computer. Just this Lady Project Summit that you have planned out with speakers, panelists. I mean, it's big.
Yeah, it is big. It's our cornerstone event of the year. This is our 5th annual summit. It's at the Vets here in Providence. And it's an all-day long conference, but we also have events happening Friday night from different sponsors like MailChimp, as well as events happening Sunday, like a shop and brunch at Faust with 10,000 small businesses. So we have it be, it's a weekend-long experience, and the conference is jam-packed on Saturday with inspiring keynote speakers, professional workshops, and a whole lot more. Our summit sells out every year, so we only have 300 tickets available, and we're over halfway sold. So if you want to come, check us out. But our keynote speakers this year are incredible. We have Lisa Jacobs speaking, who, have you seen Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
So she's the oldest daughter.
Okay,
So
no way, that's fun.
Yeah, so she was a child actress. She was also in Independence Day and a few other films. And, in her, I believe it was her late teens, early 20s, she was like, Hollywood's for me. I'm going to be a full-time author and yoga instructor. And she also talks about dealing with anxiety and depression and how that affected her. And just her story is so incredible. We're really excited to have her do a keynote speech this year. We also have Ronisha Bing. Ronisha is the founder of Her Agenda, which is a career platform for women. And she was just named one of Forbes 30 Under 30.
Oh, wow.
So we have a really great lineup.
Yeah, that's a great. That's
tons of
amazing.
Speakers. And if you go to ladyprojectsummit.com, you can see the whole list. And one thing I really love about this summit is that I've been to conferences where you have to see every single person. And the Lady Project Summit, when you sign up for your ticket, you pick your workshops. So you're able to choose workshops based on what your objectives are, whether it's more personal or more professional, or you're just going to get inspired. So you can check those out on our website and then make those choices when you sign up.
Someone that caught my eye was the woman who helps tweens develop their style.
Oh yeah,
and she provides sewing information. I think she has a book, and her name.
Is it Leslie Ware?
I think that's who it was.
Yeah.
I think it's on here somewhere. Yeah. Leslie Ware. She just sounds fascinating. Sewing for style for the young fashionistas. I mean, she just looks amazing.
Yeah.
She helps tweens.
Totally, and
it's amazing.
And there's no more awkward time than being a tween.
Yeah.
And if her work is empowering young girls to feel fashionable and confident, that's amazing. And she has a few books about how to make those, how to create outfits and to sew.
Yeah.
And it's not only feeling confident and great about yourself, but also, learning a life skill like sewing. I mean, I don't know how to sew, and I have a pile of things I
have a button. I'm like,
yeah.
Can I staple this on?
Totally.
But just the way that you're pulling in different people with different skills, different skill sets, bringing them in for this for this conference. So that's March 25th. Coming up, if the summit, if you're a fundraiser at Matunic Oyster Bar. So not bad.
I know, right? You're actually hearing it first. We haven't formally announced it yet, but the tickets should be live this week. But we're having, it's called Shucks It's Spring.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Shucks.
Shucks, right? We're so clever. But Matunic Oyster Bar, which is like undoubtedly one of the most beautiful places in all of Rhode Island, and having it be just a beautiful, hopefully, not going regarding the weather, but just a gorgeous spring day on the water at Matunic. Perry, the owner, is super gracious in sponsoring this event, and he's also agreed to do oyster farm tours, which is really exciting and something you may not be able to see otherwise.
Oh yeah, no.
But it's gonna be like oysters and rosé, and I think it's just gonna be a fabulous event. And we had a gala last November, which is definitely a higher ticket fundraising item, but this event is going to be in the $50-$60 range to make sure that accessibility is really important to Lady Project, and this is a fundraiser, so there's a different objective behind it, but making sure that people want to come, we're really aware of our pricing and making sure that we're accessible across the board depending on the different events.
And one of the events that you did have this weekend was breaking
boards.
Breaking boards. I love that, and I love kind of the metaphor behind it. But how did that go?
It went awesome, and it was funny because we had people there who they've never taken a karate class or that type of class in their life, and they literally broke the boards at the end of the class.
That's terrifying.
Super
and awesome.
Yeah, and they wrote down those barriers, like whether it's I want to speak up more at work, or I want to be more present with my family, or whatever those barriers are, and then they broke them. So awesome. There's a few different aspects to that, but we did that up in Smithfield, and it was a really great event. And we also had it was a free event, but we had donations that were benefiting a women's shelter. So that was really exciting too.
Wonderful. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Molly.
Appreciate you filling us in on Providence Lady Project and continuing to expand a couple new cities on the horizon we found out about here first, and then continuing. You'll keep us updated
thanks,
on the expansion work. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to see you once again.
You too.
And I'll let you get back to what you need to do.
Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. So continuing success for Providence Lady Project, expansion, fundraisers coming up, and their conference is March 25th. So you can hear all about the Providence Lady Project and the Lady Project Summit. Their tickets, she said, are about half sold out. So if you want more information on that, you can check out their website.